rumble with the roar of the crowd. Underneath the stars we make our town proud. Every win, every loss, we shout it out loud. From the court to the field, to the dirt and the track, we cheer for the glory, we never hold back. It's the pulse of the county, the pride we unpack. Limestone County Sports, we bring the game to life. Every play, every fight, every Friday night. Limestone County Sports, it's where legends ignite. Limestone County Sports, where legends ignite.
Welcome to Limestone County Sports, where legends ignite. And speaking of legends, we've got one, a Limestone County legend, head football coach at Tanner High School, Matt Smith, joins us on the show today. Welcome, Coach.
I appreciate you having me.
How you doing?
I'm doing good.
We're having to redo this again. We just recorded, or thought we were recording, about 5 minutes, and we were talking real good and real fast, and noticed I forgot to hit the record button. So here we go again. So we should be able to roll pretty quick now, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. And you got to get back down to Tanner and do some coaching this afternoon for practice.
We got practice in a little bit.
Yeah, so we're
walkthroughs.
Yep, we're going. Y'all, who you playing tomorrow night?
Clements.
At Clements, right?
Clements.
Yeah, big ball game coming up. That's a big county rivalry, and should be a crowd down there and a good ball game. Now, Coach, for those listening who may not know anything about Matt Smith, again, is second-year head football coach at Tanner, but you've been down there coaching soccer, I know, for quite a few years now.
Yeah, this will be coming up on year 12 for me for soccer.
Yep. And you've been you said earlier you've been in the Limestone County education system for about 17 years now.
Yep, I'm in year 17 right now. Yep.
Got you, born and raised. You went to Tanner, K through 12, Tanner, man.
All the way through, yep. My mama went to Tanner. My daddy went to Tanner.
Wow.
Grandma went to Tanner.
So you're like 3-4 generations Tanner deep.
Oh, yeah. Both my brothers went to Tanner.
Like it.
All my cousins.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, we all
did your brothers play football?
They did, yeah. Brett Smith played defensive tackle and then played tight end.
Mm-hmm.
And then Will Smith, that's my younger brother. But
yeah, he had a pretty good show on TV, didn't he?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
He made some money afterwards.
Yeah.
But he played tight end and played defensive end.
Yeah.
Both of them played football.
They younger than you? Or?
They're younger than me.
Gotcha. So you were the big brother?
I'm the big brother.
Or was you also physically the bigger brother?
Oh, yeah, they knew when I got mad to sit down.
Stay away.
Don't be quiet.
Yeah. If you're just listening, you need to go look at the video. Mr. Matt Smith on the website we follow with his statistics when he was in high school in 2006. This got him listed at 6'5", 275, and he's still all of that, if not a hamburger more.
Yeah, about a hamburger, maybe a couple fries.
Mm-hmm. And that website we're talking about, ahsfhs.org, has got you listed as all-state player in 06, offensive lineman. That was your senior year there. And playing career, like where'd you go out of high school? You were getting recruited, and you mentioned earlier you were getting recruited by some SEC teams and some other things. Where'd you go out of high school?
Coming out, I was planning on going to Arkansas. We had Ryan Powers up there at the time. He had just graduated the year before I did. They were recruiting me hard and heavy, and had a lot of interest in them. Vanderbilt showed a lot of interest in me. We had Rashard Langford at Vanderbilt at the time. So both of those programs had a Tanner guy in the program already, and so they knew about us. But had some trouble with my grades. Didn't do my part on my end that I was supposed to do. Ended up signing Division II. Went to Miles College in Birmingham and played down there. So after my first year down there, I dislocated my shoulder, tore it out the frame, had to have surgery. Rehabbing it, trying to come back, trying to get back in shape, and lifting weights, I dislocated again.
Wow, same shoulder.
Same shoulder. And it was one of them things where I let my ego get involved. The doctor said, "Hey, you'll never be able to bench 400 again. There's no need of you trying." And I was like, "I'm gonna show this dude."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, I got to college and everything changed. Trying to go all out and popped it straight out.
Wow. Now, you had mentioned earlier before we started rolling, you were kind of flirting with some other sports. I know you played a lot of stuff in high school, but you're trying to do some track and field stuff at college as well.
Yeah, I wanted to throw shot put as well. I'd done track my junior and senior year, got into it. Coach White, again, was the track coach. And I got into it, and that's back when they had it at Troy. I was going down there to play and or going down there to throw for my senior year, and I had met with the Troy coach about doing some track and field stuff. And when I found out that I was going to Division II, I ended up ultimately choosing Miles College, and I talked to the track coach there too, and was planning on throwing shot put there before I had surgery. But I played basketball for Chris Witt. I played baseball for Austin Marsh and Coach King over next door.
Yeah, we know that guy.
Yeah, you've seen him a time or two, I'm sure. Yeah, he's so he was my basketball coach and my baseball coach in high school.
Yeah, cool. So you go finish up college. How did you get back into education?
I was working at Bradford Health Service at the time, and I was gearing everything up to be a counselor. I wanted to work at DHR. I wanted to go in and do home visits and stuff like that. And I've always wanted to work with children. I've always wanted to have an impact some way. So I was working at Bradford Health Services, a drug treatment facility, and I was working on the adolescent side. And then I was working at a gas station, and LaRon White comes in the gas station. He sees me, and we get to talk and everything. And he's like, "How you doing?" I said, "Well, I missed the game, but other than that, I'm doing fine." He's like, "Well, come holler at me then. I need an O-line, D-line guy." And that's how I got into coaching.
Yeah, next thing you know, you're back at Tanner, right?
Back at Tanner, I never left.
Yep, that's awesome, man. Now you obviously second year of football, you've had some pretty successful seasons coaching some soccer.
Yes, sir. Second year as football as a head coach. I was there in the 2000. My first year in coaching, I think, was the 2009 season, and then we made it to the state championship in 2010. Landon Stevens senior year, we got beat by Elba.
Yeah,
and then we won it in 12 and 13. I was part of those coaching staffs. And then in 14, Coach Owens was the principal at the time. Billy Owens. He came and he was like, "Hey, we need somebody to take over soccer." I was like, "Coach, I don't know anything about soccer.
Yeah,
I ain't never coached soccer before. Never even watched soccer."
Yeah.
And he was like, "Man, I've asked everybody." He said, "If you don't take it, we're going to have to shut the program down." And I was like, "Nah, we're not going to do that, man. These kids work hard. So I went out there the first year, and I remember 2014. I'll always remember the year I lost my mama to breast cancer. I didn't even finish out that coaching season. Mama got diagnosed March the 11th, 2014, and she passed away May the 1st.
Wow.
So 2014, it was really just boom, boom, and Coach Montgomery ended up taking over for me at the end. We made the third round playoffs that year, got put out by Randolph.
Yeah.
And, the support those kids showed while I was going through all my stuff and doing everything and going through what I was going through with, I was like, man, I can't bet on these kids. So,
yeah.
And next year I came in, I told Coach Owen, I said, "Look, man, if I'm going to do this, you got to send me to some coaching clinics. I got to know what I'm doing. I got to know what I'm doing. I can't just go out here and, just bull crap these kids and don't know anything." So he sent me down to UAB. I talked to Coach Gitman. I went to UAH, talked to Coach Crank. I went all over and had to learn how to do soccer, how to coach it, how to condition for it, how to do everything. And then year 10, I was lucky enough to put together a state championship team. We won it 2023, and that was the first one in Limestone County history.
Yeah, in soccer.
In soccer.
And you win another one?
No, I won. We won a track one. I was coaching track in 2011 or 2012. We won our first and only track state championship. Thomas Harris was the head coach, and I was his assistant coach. We won it in 2012 track.
Yeah.
That started it off. And then we won football in 12. And we won football in 13. We won basketball in, I think, 13.
Yeah.
So, and then we won, I've got 2 indoor state champs with Carl Parham and Skylar Townsend. both of them won high jump. Well, no, Carl won the 60-meter. Skylar won high jump. So we've got 2 indoor, 1 outdoor, soccer, and 2 football.
So how many total rings does Coach Matt Smith have?
I've got 6.
6 rings.
6 rings.
You should have brought them, and like we could have flexed them, like when
next
Nick,
time.
like Nick Saban does or used to do when he would have all those rings out on the
Sitting on the
coffee
table, yeah.
when those recruits would come in.
When you walk in, you see them, you're like, man, I gotta get me one of them.
That's
Come
right.
here.
That's right. Well, y'all been able to do that down there at Tanner. And Tanner's been doing it for many years in multiple sports. So a lot of athletes coming through down there. Kind of moving into some football stuff, Coach. Obviously, use O lineman, coached O and D line for LaRon and things of that nature. Would you consider yourself coaching style in regards to like just preferences? You know, most guys are head coaches anyway are usually defensive or offensive. Kind of where you land on that.
It's a good mixture. You know, I played O-line, so I'm an offensive guy in that aspect. But coming into Tanner, I'd actually coached D-line at Sparkman. I worked at Tanner and everything, but I coached D-line at Sparkman for LaRon White when he went over there. Yeah. So, I've coached D-line for years, coached O-line for years. I'm kind of in the middle. You know, if you have to put me on the side, it's going to be on the offensive side.
Are you calling plays on any side of the ball?
No, I've got 2 of the best OC and DCs in the county, probably in the state of Alabama.
Gotcha.
Thomas Harris played at Hazelwood. Coached me when I was in school. You know, he's a DC at Tanner for years, DC at Sparkman. He's got 23, 24 state championships.
Wow.
Yeah, he's
that's the real deal.
Man, he's Hazelwood there back in the 90s. They were winning them left and right.
Yep.
I think he had something like 3 straight Triple Crowns. So he been coaching 23, 24 years now, and been DC or co-DC that whole time. And then flip it over on offense, I got Desmond Richardson. He's a Sparkman guy.
Yeah.
You know, played at Sparkman, came out in 05 or 06, went to Jackson State, played at Jackson State, played running back, fullback. Then he came home, started coaching, and I met him at Sparkman coaching, and he was a running backs coach there. And he branched out, got his first OC job at Buckhorn. Then he became the head coach at the Tennessee Valley Prep. He was the head coach of that for a year or two, and then last year was his first year with me at Tanner. The year before that, he was at Decatur Heritage for a couple years.
Gotcha.
So he was.
Good deal.
They won it over there. They won the region over at Decatur Heritage. His first year there, and then came in second the second year.
It's a lot easier being in that head role when you got pretty good OC and DC who can call them plays on both sides of the ball, and you can just kind of stare at that clock and worry about if we punting or going forward or calling timeouts.
That's it. That's
things of that nature. Speaking of your team, got first win of the season this past Friday night. It was homecoming, is that right? And had Bell Green coming to town. Bell Green came in undefeated. I know that I think one of those was a forfeit. I think was it Shoals Christian or somebody forfeited, and so that counts as a win for them. But nonetheless, they came in undefeated, and they were up. They started that game out like 13-0, and you guys shut them down and then put it on them.
Yeah, it was 13-7 at halftime. We come out and, shot ourselves in the foot a few times, holding calls here and there. Yep. Face mask or just something, we get in our own way first half. And then the second half we came out, we established the line of scrimmage, kind of just took over the game. Torrey Pride, our running back, he took over the game and in the offensive line. Man, he rushed for 348 yards and 4 touchdowns. Yep.
Matthew Fletcher have a pretty good game.
And Matthew Fletcher had a good game. He caught a few balls and we put him at quarterback. He had a couple good rushes, but he shined on the defense side of the ball. He had 17 tackles.
Wow,
Friday night.
He's doing it.
Yeah,
you guys still moving kids around?
Yeah, we still Bouncing, Matt go to quarterback some, plays receiver, plays running back. We play safety corner. And at the next level, a lot of coaches have looked at him on the defensive side of the ball.
Yeah.
So he's picked up his defensive presence, I guess you would say. Alabama A&M likes him at safety, and then Alabama State likes him at that star backer, and then got a couple more schools that like him at inside linebacker. So he's bounced around, and we're getting film on all positions so they can see him move and see him react and how smart he is on the field. And then Makai Mitchell, he's another one of our seniors that we got a couple schools that's after him. He plays D tackle, D end, and then tight end and fullback. So,
how many seniors you got?
I've got 5 seniors.
And junior or sophomore class is a little bigger?
Yeah, junior class, I think we got about 7. We got 7 juniors. Sophomore class, not so much. I think we got about 4 or 5 sophomores, and then that 9th grade class is pretty big.
Yeah, 9th grade class loaded.
Yeah, it's loaded. It's pretty good. The 8th grade group is really loaded too.
Good. Since I've been back around high school sports in the last 10 years, that's one of the things that me and some of the guys always talk about is coaching and all those things plays a lot into this. But at the end of the day, it's them Jimmys and the Joes, and the talent levels. You may have 2 or 3 classes with just a handful of dudes, and then you may get a couple classes back to back that's got 15, 20 dudes, and you're like, here we go.
Yeah.
And you're just waiting on those kids. You're like, that 7th and 8th grade group or that 8th and 9th grade group, and you're working off of what you're doing now, but man, there's some dogs coming.
Oh, yeah. And that's the thing, coaches have a saying, if it's a whiteboard battle, whoever's got the pen last is going to win. So, if you draw up the best offense you want on the world, but if you give me that marker at the end, I can draw up a defense that's going to stop it.
Yeah.
But you can't do it on the field. It's all about the Jimmys and Joes.
That's right.
X's and O's, you got to have them. They got to be in place. But, at the end of the day, it's going to come down to those Jimmys and Joes and who gets it done on the field.
Mm-hmm. You guys are setting up, I know you're the season front end loaded as far as competition. You were playing early, lost 4 straight, got that first win this past week. But from here on out, man, schedule's looking a lot better for you guys. Got Clements this week at Clements, a non-region game, but big county rivalry. Those schools are just a few miles apart, and so both of those teams going to be getting after it. We mentioned, me and JV mentioned it on the show earlier in the week. If you're looking for a good Limestone County matchup, either head down to Clements for the Tanner and Clements game or head to West Limestone for the East and West game. Both of those will be good games.
Yeah, you're going to definitely have some cousins playing against each other in both of them games.
Yeah, well, them cousins has been playing in the backyard with each other for years at Grandma's house on the weekends or after Sundays. Go to church and then go to Grandma's house and eat. And so now they get to do it with all the gear on.
Yeah, and all the crowds watching.
Yeah, that's right. You go from Clements. Next week you got Tharpton, which is a very reasonable game, a winnable game. Decatur Heritage is kind of a little down from what they've been, and those two are both region games. You guys are in that 6-team region, and so technically, I mean, you want to win a lot more games than that. But if you win 2 games, you guys can kind of clinch a playoff spot with 2 more wins.
Yeah. Right now, it's shaping up. It looks like Red Bay is leading the region right now. They were like us last year. They were very young. I think they had 4 seniors last year, but the difference is their junior class was loaded. Like they got some guys coming back. 34 running back. He's a dog. He's about 6'3", about 215. Runs the ball hard. Plays linebacker on the other side. But then so you got them leading the region right now. Winston County's coming in second right now. Lexington is third. And then that last spot will come down to us, Tharptown, and Decatur Heritage. As of right now, we went out. We beat Tharptown, Red Bay, and Decatur Heritage. Then it's you're looking at going from a 3 or 4 spot to possibly getting that 2 spot, just depending on how.
And then you're hosting a playoff.
And then you're hosting a playoff. Yep.
And Sweetwater. That's the last game of the season, non-region game, and you guys got to go to Sweetwater. That's a 1A school down in Sweetwater, Alabama. Where is that?
That's about 3.5 hours down south.
How did you get that game on the schedule, Coach?
Well, just lucky, I guess.
Was it there before you got there?
No, it
you
wasn't.
Inherited it?
Yeah, I inherited a roster that our schedule that only had 7 games on it.
Okay.
So, I scrambled to find, I got hired late, right before spring ball. So it was, it's one of the things where you look at it, you got 7 games and you're like, man, we got no tiebreakers anywhere. So it's win or go home,
Yeah.
So, tiebreakers, if you're in that tie for 3rd or 4th, then it goes to non-region play. And if you ain't got no non-region play games that you've won, then you're not getting any games off of them. So I got out, we were able to, Coach Davis over at West and Snyder at Ardmore, both of those guys were gracious enough to split their game. They were playing week 1, and they split up for me and Brick because Brick ended up getting West. I ended up getting Ardmore. That way it gave us a week 1 game because I was already playing Clements week 5. He had a open week 5. I had an open week 5. So that's how we got week 5 with us. And then that gave us Ardmore. Well, we were still, a game short. And I tried everything, tried to find somewhere. And I put it on the on Twitter. It's got a Alabama football scoop.
Yeah.
So I put it on there, and he hit me back. And he's like, Coach, we'll come to y'all this year. You come to us next year. Y'all feed us when we come up there. We'll feed y'all when y'all come down here.
Yeah.
And that's how we got it.
Yeah. That's probably a pretty good trip for you boys. I mean, I know y'all haven't been down there yet, but when you boys can go, 3.5 hours away, they're going to get out of school a half a day. And that'll be
get something to eat. Let them have that experience. Because, in all reality, you don't know where you're going to go in the playoffs. I've been to 3-hour drives, 4-hour drives, and I've been right down the road, to Madison Academy or go somewhere to, and you're looking at having that experience. You want that prep, that getting out early, stopping to eat, that routine of so the first time we're doing it is not in the first round of playoffs, and you have to go to Coosa Christian, or you have to go somewhere far off. You don't want the first time of them having to get on a charter bus and stop and get something to eat, and their bodies to go through that process the first time to be during that playoff game. Yeah. So I like that aspect of going down there and competing, and then
that's a good idea. And it's a non-region game too.
It's non-region, and they're a really good team. Sweetwater is known for having state championship caliber teams, no matter what classification they're in. Right. So it's a really good team, really good test for us, and I like the aspect of the boys being prepared to do that type of travel and that type of game situation, that game atmosphere before we get to the playoffs.
Yeah. And if you'll know the week before if you're in or not. Yeah. And so that'd be fantastic if you were. You guys getting a charter bus to head down to that game?
Yeah, we'll get a charter bus. Limestone County, anything over 200 miles, you have to have a charter bus anyway. It's required. So we're getting a charter bus. We'll go down. We're still looking for somebody to pay for it.
Yeah.
If somebody wants.
Hey, if you got any sponsors out there, businesses, folks in Tanner just want to invest in the community and the Tanner High School football program, this is your guy.
Come on, hey. Yeah. I'll bring your pocketbook.
Yeah.
I'll put a sign up for you.
Yeah. We'll stick it on the side of the concession stand and leave it there for a while.
Yeah.
All right, Coach. You've already gave us a couple of golden nuggets of coaching information. Is there any kind of phrase, quote that you may have heard in your years of playing, or now that you've coached and been coaching with some good guys, and you've played for some great guys, that's really just stuck out to you, and some of that information are those quotes that you're just passing on to the next generation of football players? I kind of called those golden nuggets because they just stick with you, and then you use those in your own coaching style. Anything at all?
One of the things that I truly believe and I try to live by is LaRon White always, he'd always tell us stuff, going out on practice field or going to do whatever we're going. And I always sat behind him on the bus rides. So he would always tell the coach, you know, you don't know what these kids are going back home to. So treat them as if you're the only smiling face they're going to see that day, and this is the only place they're going to get a meal. So if you can do those two things, then you can ensure that, one, they seen that somebody loved them and somebody took time with them, and then two, they were able to get something to eat today. Because you don't know, not all of our kids are going home to loving homes. They're not going home to a full course meal. You know, some of these kids are going home and having to fend and scrape for themselves.
That's right. That's good.
Just know that, you know, I'm gonna be hard on them. I'm gonna coach them how I coach them, and I'm gonna, you know, make sure that they're disciplined, they're structured, everything's organized. But at the end of the day, they all know that I love them, and they know that they can come to me if they need something.
Yeah. That's good stuff, Coach. I know another pastor here earlier, we were talking, I was telling him you were coming to do the podcast, and he was talking about when he was down at Round Island, LaRon would bring his teams to Round Island to eat that, you know, that pregame meal or a meal on Thursday night or something. And he said LaRon's teams were always different. And I was like, what do you mean? He said, you know, we would feed all kinds of teams. Some teams we'd have to go to them. And he said they'd always, you know, cutting up, just doing what teenagers do and kids do. And he said, not LaRon's teams. LaRon's teams were coming to us. They were all, yes, sir, no, sir, cleaning up after themselves. And he said it was almost kind of like some of those Nick Saban teams where they're all business. And, you know, nobody's cutting up. We're here to work and do a job and have end goals. And you've seen that play out on the field through the years.
Oh, yeah. And he played at Alabama. LaRon knows what it takes to win. He's been there. He's done it. And you know, to have him as my mentor, and like I can call him right now and ask him anything I need to ask him, and he'll advise me on whatever I need advice on. But I learned a lot from him, and him playing a role in my life. Like, I was one of those kids that I went home, my mama loved me. Yeah. And I knew my mama loved me. I knew I had a meal my mom was going to cook. My mom cooked 3 meals a day. And if you didn't like it, then you didn't have to eat it. But she cooked it. So, but the other aspect of it is, you know, season's about to start and I don't have any cleats. And my mom, you know, she was on SSI their whole life, you know, had back surgeries and, you know, different stuff. Ended up, you know, she ended up having breast cancer and everything. But she didn't have a bunch of money. It was me and 2 other brothers. So LaRon White would get us and we'd go mow his yard. You know, we'd go clean the bushes and we'd go clean out the garage, and he would buy our cleats for us before every season. You know, he did that all the way through my senior year.
Man, that's good stuff.
Yeah. Junior year, I ain't had no money to go to prom. You gonna ask, I ain't going to prom. I ain't got $100 to go, no tuxedo, no suit, no nothing. Yeah. Again, LaRon, hey man, come on, you can mow the yard, you can do this. And got my tuxedo, got my prom suit, and my senior year, same thing. You know, I was able to he got me a job at Greenbrier. Yeah. Him and Scrapper. You know, I love Scrapper to death. He got me a job down there. Tanner guy, you know, he even let me drive his truck to the prom. So Tanner's always like that. You don't never know, you know, you might not get it from who you need to get it from or who you expect to get it from, but you're gonna get it from somebody if you hang around Tanner long enough, because they're gonna make sure that you know you loved, and they're gonna make sure you fed. Yeah. So,
man, that's good stuff, bro. And good to see you being able to pass that on to a whole nother generation of kids and players, man. You know,
I'm gonna make sure that, you know, LaRon comes around, he talks to the boys, and he's at Alabama A&M now as the high school relations coordinator. So he's the one that's recruiting Matt Fletcher and Makai Mitchell, 2 of our seniors. So he's out looking at them and talking to them, and they went to a game this past week. So just making sure that they know who he is and, you know, the impact that he had on my life. That's big. That's big for me.
Yeah. Man, that's good. That's great stuff. Hopefully, if other coaches or folks are out there listening, encourage them to kind of do the same things with the people that they're around, especially young folks, young ball teams, be able to invest in those kids. And you can see that moving on from one generation to the other. All right, Coach, I know you getting a little close on time here, and you got to get back down to Tanner to do a little coaching. We're going to do some quick hitters. I'm just going to throw a couple of things out there, maybe a quick question or a either or true or false or whatever, and then you can give me first thing that pops in your mind. I think I already know the answer to the first one. The first one is Roll Tide or War Eagle.
Roll Tide.
I'm going to agree with that. Second question, a little tricky, especially with your history. To win the game, would you rather see that done by a Hail Mary or a last-second soccer goal? To win the big game, Hail Mary or last-second soccer goal?
Man, that's a good one.
And if you want to be unbiased, you can say something else. I know you're dedicated to football players and soccer players.
Yeah. I'm gonna switch it up on you. I'm gonna say a 35-yard field goal by a soccer player.
A 35-yard field goal by a soccer player. Yeah. That's the best answer you could have gave.
Dax Bowman is my extra point field goal kicker at Tanner, and he's also one of my best defenders at Tanner in soccer.
Got a pretty good leg?
Oh, yeah, strong freshman.
Really?
Yeah, I got a few touchbacks this year.
Have you had an opportunity to try a long field goal?
We have, yep. We got close on a 35-yard and a 39-yard with his bobble snap, messed up a couple things. He had to rush the kick, but he got the leg too.
Gotcha, good, man. What grade did you say he was?
Freshman.
Awesome. Well, he's got a long way to go, man.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to keep him there for a while. Yeah. 100 degrees or snow?
Snow.
I'm a 100-degree guy.
Yeah, snow.
Old school or new technology?
Old school.
Do you have any new technology on the sideline? Like you got any tablets doing in-game adjustments, things of that nature?
We had all that at Sparkman, and I loved it. Mm-hmm. You know, it was great. I could go under the tent, and I can get everything situated and fix everything right then and there. But we don't have it at Tanner. We ain't got that pocketbook that they have.
Is that something you'd want to have at Tanner?
Yeah, I would love to have it. We've got Huddle, we've got the camera and everything. I actually, me and Britt got together and got to talking and had to figure out what all to do to get it. I think he's getting an end zone camera this year too, and we plan on trying to get raise the funds for it next year. But yeah, I'd love to have it on the sideline.
So there's another thing that somebody, if they want to come cut you a check, there's some other things that they can help support the Tanner football program.
Yeah, come on.
Favorite athlete of all time?
That is a good one, and it's gonna be hard to justify my first answer, but I'm gonna go Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson, greatest athlete of all time, and you got a second one?
Dion.
Well, both those guys played multi-sports. They were both multi-sports guys.
Yeah.
You're from probably closer to my generation, so I kind of feel those picks.
Yeah.
Same. I got teenage sons that they'll throw LeBron James and all these guys out there, and I'm like, bro, y'all didn't even see real athletes, man.
Ain't nobody get hit going to the hole.
Right. If Dennis Rodman wasn't taking your head off to get a rebound,
right.
All right. If you had to pick pick one walk-up song, like baseball, whatever the sport is, one current walk-up song for yourself, what would it be?
She thinks my tractor's sexy.
Did you just say she thinks my tractor's sexy?
That's my walk-up song. Kenny Chesney.
Okay, I thought you would have chose this one. I don't know if you're familiar with this song, but I really thought you would have picked this song. And I hope we don't get copyrighted for this. Hey. Are you familiar with this?
Safe to say I'm the biggest, the largest. Been stepping up since my mama stayed in them
sure.
Regardless. My
daddy definitely the biggest.
Yeah. I thought for sure you would have been going with Big X the Plug.
Yeah. I listen to that. But I know
all you boys listen to.
Oh yeah, all the guys. Yeah, they listen to that new stuff. I'm an old school R&B guy.
Favorite old school R&B artist?
Jodeci.
Oh, let's see. Is that Come and Talk to Me?
Yeah.
Man, you're on the same wavelength here, homie.
Yeah.
Was there any of them Morans playing ball when you were down there?
Yeah, well, Jake Moran played with us. He actually got recruited my sophomore year to go to Tuscaloosa Academy.
Yeah.
And he went down there and played his junior and senior year. But me and him were in the same class, graduated together.
And is he one of Brandon and Jim and all them?
Yep, he's
Brandon,
the youngest brother.
Yep, Brandon is helping coach Nave over at Lindsay Lane Christian Academy.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
Doing some, I think, defensive backs and stuff like that.
Okay.
Let's see. Greatest team you've ever been on, or greatest team you've ever coached, any sport. All right, you can answer both those if you want to. Greatest team that you were ever on.
The greatest team I was ever on was my junior year, that 05 football season. You had Ryan Powers, went to Arkansas. You had Curtis Garth. You had Big Michael Smith, Kenny James, DeMarcus King. Man, that was loaded. We made the third round that year, got put out by Clay County.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. Looks like you guys were 8-2.
Yeah.
Lost to Elkmont and Lexington, and then went 3 rounds. You're correct. Got put out by Clay County 26-7 in the third round.
Yeah. Now that Elkmont game, we lost, but we set a bunch of people because we was going to the playoffs. So,
Okay.
don't do that.
Yeah. Hey, for real, you got to do that stuff. Non-region game. Why you starting those dudes?
Well, we that was probably the best team. You know, like I said, Ryan Powers went to Arkansas.
Yeah, it's got him listed as what just says player awards. Ryan Powers, linebacker, and DeMarcus King. He was a junior quarterback.
Graduated with me. DeMarcus threw for about 2,500 that year. And then Ryan, I think Ryan made it to the Alabama Mississippi All-Star game that year.
Yep. I think that was listed as well.
Ryan Powers, Curtis Garth ended up playing at Arkansas, Monticello. He went in there and played running back. About 5'11", about 180 pounds. It could just fly.
Awesome. Greatest team you've ever coached or been a part of the coaching staff?
I'm going to say that 2012 football, first football state championship at Tanner High School, 2012. Man, we went into every game. Now, LaRon White is not going to own up to this, but I know he did. We went into every game knowing we were going to win that game.
Well, y'all were undefeated. You went 15-0.
It was one of them things where I think the 2011 state championship runner-up caught us off guard. We were all kind of shell-shocked, big eyes. You know, the players hadn't been there before. First time in Tanner history of making it to the state championship game. And they didn't, Landon Stevens and Landon Stevens, Zach Witt, those guys.
Here's some all-state players from that team. Baltazar Rubio. Fred Rich.
Yeah, Fred.
Greg Macklin. Hayden Stevens. Kyle Shoulders.
Yep.
All of them guys.
Man, Fred went and played UAB. Tito, we called his name, Baltazar, called him Tito. Man, he could have went and played anywhere. He decided to go to work.
I'm pretty sure he goes to church here.
Yeah, probably does. Because I know his kids go to Lindsay Lane.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
Hayden, he had a sign. He had a sign was shorter. Hayden Steven, and then who else was on there?
Fred Rich, Greg Macklin.
Greg and Fred both were going to UAB. Greg is.
Man, y'all had some dogs.
Man, yeah, they were them guys. Whew, I told you going into every game knowing we was going to win that game.
I was looking at the scores from that 15-0 season. The first game, you beat Madison Academy 13-7.
Closest one all year.
And here's just scores. 34-0, 67-7, 49-7, 48-0, 69-13, 46-20, 60-6, 67-12. Then you get to the playoffs, 55-0, 48-0, 14-0. Fultondale gave you a game.
Ardarius Stewart played Alabama.
Really?
Yeah, we put him out both years.
Y'all beat them 14-0. Nobody scored on you in the playoffs till the fourth round. You still beat Reeltown 35-14, and then beat Washington County in the championship game 28-14.
Yep.
Pretty good run.
We beat Washington County both years, 12-13 in the state championship game. Now, if you go that next year, 2013, we were behind every game. We were behind in every playoff game at halftime. and had to fight back to win it all.
Yeah, well, yeah, your scores get a little tighter that year. But I mean, y'all still smoking most people. I mean, y'all were you were 9-1 in the regular season, and then didn't lose again. Well, Madison Academy beat you 48-6, and you never lost again.
That was Kerryon Johnson senior year.
Yeah,
You've
either played with some dogs or against some dogs, bro.
Man, Dardarius Stewart played against him. Played against Kerryon Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them played in the NFL.
Yeah.
Who else? Man, I mean, we played against some guys.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. All right, last question. Greatest play call of all time as a coach. Greatest play call that you've ever called or okayed, even if it was your offensive coordinator or defense coordinator, somebody called that. Greatest, and it doesn't even have to be a play call, just greatest play as a coach.
As a coach. I'm gonna say, man, that's a hard one.
Got one as a player.
Yeah, the one of the players easy.
What's that?
That was my junior year. I was a junior in high school, and Austin Marsh called a play, and I got in the hood and said, "Nah, we ain't doing that. We running 26 cross, and y'all running, and Jarquez running behind me." And we were on the goal line. We got to the sideline. He's like, "Who called that play?" And I was like, "I did." He's like, "Don't do it again." And we just scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
And he called some kind of pass play or something. DeMarcus had almost 3,000 yards, but he called something. I was like, "We ain't doing that. We running 26 cross." And that's where dang running backs cross in the backfield, guard pulls, kicks out. I'm the left tackle. I pull and wrap up. And we were in the first round of playoffs playing man, what's the team Brody Crowell came from?
Something Christian. Westbrook
Christian.
Yep.
We were playing him in the first round of playoffs, and man, I kicked out, and wrapped around, and I flattened the dude, and Jarquez people walking the touchdown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good story, bro. All right, Coach. Hey, man, appreciate you coming on. Before you leave, how you got here, you kind of just reached out to the podcast and said, "Hey, I got you fight song." Yeah. Tanner fight song. We're going to leave with that today, and then that kind of got the conversation rolling. Glad you got to come in. And again, if anybody's out in the county wanting to see some good football this Friday night, head down to Tanner, and maybe you're listening to this next week. Tanner has who you got next week?
Thorpetown.
Got Thorpe. Is that home?
On the road.
On the road at Thorpetown. But be looking for Tanner to make some noise in 2A and hopefully make it the playoffs. And you make the playoffs, you don't never know what'll happen. Got to get there.
Yes, sir.
I appreciate you coming in. Anything else you want to share? Share with any listeners? We've already tried to drum up you some business for some sponsors and stuff. Reach out. Even if you don't have a connection with Tanner or Matt Smith, you can reach out through our DMs and say, "Hey, man, I want to help those guys out. We'd love to connect you."
Yeah. If you got anybody that's looking to help, my email is matt.smith@lcsk12.org.
All right. Appreciate you coming in, Coach. Looking forward to seeing you guys get some more dubs on the board, and maybe we can get together and talk again sometime. Thanks for listening. We're going to exit today with the fight song of the Tanner Rattlers. God bless.